want to kickstart a very important series, which is about teaching core business. Because most of the business I teach is within my courses where they are not free. But I want to bring it to YouTube where every day you watch my videos. It's not just about news and gossip. You'll be able to learn things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going traditional for this. Okay, so if you're just joining, click the thumbs up icon. All right. This video will not always be free. Once I'm done, I'll remove it. Okay. So we want to look at, I started a series on 100 business ideas, great business ideas that will put money in your, bank account. Okay. So today we are going to be looking at how to make money through improving customer trust and loyalty. Do your customers trust you? If your customers trust you, you're gonna make a whole lot of money. Believe that. Like your money will never finish because see, human beings are emotion driven. If people trust your brand, if they trust your product, they're going to spend endlessly. It's just like when you want to buy a Lamborghini, you're not gonna be asking whether it will break down on the road. Because what you trust their engineering, it's a marvel. Okay, or when you want to buy Tesla, no matter how much they tell you, it's either you don't have the money. If you have the money, you're going to buy it because what you so much trust them. So if you're just joining this broadcast, drop a comment in the comment section below so I know that you're hearing me, all right? So let's look at a real life example of a company that was able to rebuild itself from ground up until they were able to retake the market, all right? So a good example of a company, right, is in the US, Harley Davidson. If you know about bikes, you know Harley Davidson. They're like the king in that direction, okay? One of the top makers of motorbikes. But something happened somewhere around 30, 40 years ago during the 1980s. Their income started tanking, customers got wary of their products and then they started losing a lot of customers. So the company was going down, 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 sinking deep. Now they had to think of what to do. They had to start thinking of what to do, all right? So first of all, they got a certain manager that helped them to improve their production process, okay? Their production lines where they manufacture these bikes and motorbikes and nice, beautiful machines. So these guys standardized it and made sure that they don't manufacture faulty equipment. That's number one lesson. Find out where your customers are facing the most challenge. Sometimes the reason why they're not buying your product is that the first time they bought it, it spoiled or it just disappointed them. All right. Make sure that any product that your customers are buying from you, it's meeting a certain standard. And most times, all your customers need to trust is just to buy one first copy from you. Once it makes sense, they become a lifetime customer. So what Harley Davidson did was, first of all, make sure that their product is super efficient. They went back, fell back, improved their engineering. After the engineering was improved, they started improvising a whole lot of really smart business ideas. So the first business idea that they implemented is to start rallies. So every month or every few months, they tell all their customers to come to a certain field where they sample new equipment. So what do these rallies do? These rallies help the customers to have a sense of belonging, that these people that you're buying from are not ghosts. You understand? So in your own case, what does it look like? Real life scenario. If you want to implement that rally idea in your business, one thing you can do is to have a certain day in a week or a month that you have to host Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, whatever live that your customers will gather and watch you sample new products and drop comments and reviews about your products in the comment section, so that what will happen is that other people will see this and feel that, wow, they hear testimonies directly from others. In the case of Harley Davidson, every time they gather, they see that there are a lot of people driving Harley Davidson vehicles or bikes, and then they know that they are part of a community. That takes me to the second point number 2. Harley Davidson, all right, they came up with a club idea that if you want to belong to that club, you must fulfill 2 conditions. First, is that you must have bought a Harley Davidson product. So they call it Harley Davidson Owners Group, basically HOG, okay? Harley Owners Group. So what do these people do? Basically, this is a group of people that have spent money on Harley Davidson product, motorbikes or whatever. First condition. Second condition is that you pay a dues, like monthly dues or whatever. So they are trying to market, encourage people to bring out money and spend on Harley Davidson and get a sense of belonging. So when you sign up, they give you some things, maybe a special Harley Davidson medal, or wristwatch or something special that if you're walking on the street and you put it on, people respect you. They know that you don't just have a bike, you belong to a special club. You get, so they had all their customers inside the club. That club is not just free. This is a club that keeps paying monthly payment. And they said that 2 out of 3 of their customers were paying monthly payments, dues. Maybe not monthly, maybe 6 months, whatever dues. They are renewing their dues. That's the thing. Because of this, Harley Davidson was able to go and approach certain companies and say, we don't just have customers, we have extremely loyal customers. And when they showed their stats, I said, these guys are paying just to be part of a club. So it encouraged other brands and companies to sign deals with them, knowing that these guys have their marketing correctly. So in your own instance, in your own business, how are you going to implement that? The way to implement that is to look into the possibility of creating a group. So if you could create it locally in your local business or local area, fine, but this is internet age. You can create it on Facebook. Facebook allows you to create groups. You could have hashtags, but you can create it on Facebook. And then you make the group secret. Then you go to your platform, your website. If you don't know how to build website, I have courses on it. Right? Within a day or two, you should be learning how to build websites as well. Right? So you go to your website and make sure that once people buy a product, you offer them that, hey, I have a secret Facebook group that you can join for this amount. Okay? Even though Facebook, they are building the feature now, but in future, you have the feature where people can subscribe to a group and pay monthly. It will automatically build their cards. But for now, all right, one way you can do it is they pay once and then they join the group. But if you have platforms like Paystack, Flutterwave, you can create something called a payments page. Paystack is like an online bank, all right? I teach some of these things in my course, all right? So you just go there for free, you create an account. As long as you have your business CSC documents, there's a section called payments pages. You create it and then enable subscription. So people can land there and subscribe. So you can say that to join your Facebook group is 2,000 naira per month, 10,000, 50,000, whatever. So when these people land and they subscribe, after they've entered their card details and pay, they're going to see a page that has a link to that Facebook page, which they will click and then go join the group. That group is secret. Only people that have paid for your product will join the group. So what happens is that every month you're sure that more money is coming. Every month, Paystack automatically build their cards and send the money to you every month. But if you're not looking for an investor and you approach investor and say, we have 2,000 paying customers who just subscribe to be part of my special group, what do you think is going to happen? So you're making money not just from selling your product, but also from selling a certain idea, a sense of belonging, a branding. So Harley Davidson was able to do this. Now, what's the third thing they did? The third thing Harley Davidson did was they listened to customers. During those rallies, they have their sales agents moving from customer to customer, taking surveys. Survey number 1, what's your name, sir? When did you start using Harley Davidson? What can you say about this product? Which model of our bike did you buy? What can you say about it? And as they were getting feedback, they started learning more about their equipment. There are some machines that you build that you will not know how it performs until your customers have driven it for 1 year. After like 1 year, then you figure it out. Many times, all right, you hear about vehicle rollbacks. A vehicle like Toyota might release a certain model of their car, and after 1 year, the government asks them, hey, look, you have to roll back this car. So they tell all the customers, please submit all the cars you bought back to us. Why? Because there's a default or defaulting equipment. One example, I think, is in Japan or somewhere in Asia. One example is a certain car that the what do you call it, the AC was not smelling well. So it was making the people in that area uncomfortable. So they started complaining. The manufacturer had to roll back all that. All right. So during the time of Harley Davidson, they went round and started asking each of their customers to explain to them which challenges that they're facing with respect to that. So at the end, they learned a lot about the equipment and they were able to build better equipment. So remember that they strengthened their production line to be able to start producing really good, really good vehicles in terms of motorbikes. And then they started learning more about the ones they produced in the past and incorporating that feedback into their next production line so they were able to build higher quality products. So what does this look like in your own case? If you're running an online business, what you can do is to occasionally send a mass email to your customers and say, please, if you just bought a product, please let us know which product you bought and what your experience using it is. Okay, in my own case now, you can receive an email from me saying, hey, which of my courses did you take? And what's your experience? Can you give me a feedback? After some time, you start looking at people's feedback, you read through it, and you start seeing where people are complaining the most. You fix that. What happens to the next customer that buys your product? They'll be like, wow, this product is amazing. I don't even have a complaint. Why don't they have a complaint? Because what? They have listened to customer feedback. It's just like when you buy some cars like Tesla, you drive it and you're like, wow, like there's nothing to complain about. Because what? It's not that they started perfectly, but gradually they listened to customer feedback, they incorporated it into the next design, and boom, they have an amazing product. All right. So finally, your customers want to see you out there even before they get there. It's just like I buy a Tesla and I'm driving on the road and I see a Tesla advert. I'm like, wow, that's my car. That's my car. You know? So, in as much as you're doing all these things about your customers, you need to create a brand image. You need to put money into advertising. You need to go to Facebook, schedule Facebook adverts, go to Twitter, schedule Twitter adverts. Your customers also want to see you out there. It's just like using MTN. Every time I see MTN advert, I'm happy because what? I'm using MTN. I'm like, that's my line. You get? So one reason people buy a lot of Tesla is because they follow Elon Musk. If you go to Twitter, he always tweets at least every 3-4 days. He has at least one thing about him that is trending. So when people are buying the car, they're not just buying the car. So Elon Musk is always out there, right? So when people go to buy a Tesla vehicle or any of the products that Elon Musk has, people are not just buying the vehicle, they are buying the concept, the Elon Musk concept. They are buying into it. It's just like when people attend churches. In some cases, it's not just the church, right? It's the followership, the brand of the preacher. They like the way he preaches, they like whatever he does, and then they influence to attend the church. So it's not just about the message, it's not just about what you do with your customers. Sometimes it's about the brand. What are you creating out there that your customers can see? All right. So thank you very much. I hope you learned something from the Harley Davidson analysis. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'll continue this series until we reach at least 100 videos. All right. Thank you very much. See you.